OCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Laura Byrnes' ears probably burn every now and then. Oh, burn. Because we talk about Laura all the time because she represents CareerSource, Citrus Levy Marion, and it occurred to me the other day, I was speaking to somebody who had a job and was not happy with the job, and I was talking about Laura and CareerSource, and then it occurred to me that the word career is really an important part of that name. It's not job source, it's career source. You actually come in here and give us information about a job that could be the rest of your life, or at least the next 20 years, and these good jobs, and like Chick-fil-A, we're going to hear about today. So, and your guest today is Jeromy Williams. So, good morning, Laura, and good morning, Jeromy.
Good morning.
Everybody. How are you both?
Fantastic.
Thank you for the gift. You brought us a couple of stuffed cows, and
yes, sir.
I'm going to be a stuffed cow
Can you
today.
see it?
Yeah, see it really well. Eat more chicken, it says. And you brought us some food. We
We don't come empty-handed.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
My
so
pleasure.
much. That is so good. And you reminded me, you were on with us in like 5 years ago, you said?
A little over 5 years ago, yes,
Wow.
sir.
Were you here in this location?
No, sir.
Okay, it was in the Cascades then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, my memory is a blank. Anything before the Cascade, before moving here, I forget.
Understood.
It's funny when I look at old videos, though. It's like, wow, that was the old studio. I always forget what it looked like. So, well, good to have you back. Thank you
thank
for
you.
coming in. Thank you again for the food.
Yes, sir.
Laura, good morning. We're going to see you Friday.
You are indeed, absolutely. Joe and myself will be presenting at the Student Media Festival as per usual. So looking forward to that.
It's always a highlight for us.
It
We
is.
like
It's
that. I
amazing.
always try to lose weight before that night. I always do, and I never do.
I don't think the students really care. They want the
Thank you for
awards.
saying that.
They want the recognition. They
Thank
get
you
it.
for saying
it's
that.
a wonderful evening.
They don't care. Yeah.
It's an amazing evening, definitely.
So let's hear. We have some. What do you like about what I said right there? It's career source. The word career really does say a lot, doesn't
Absolutely, absolutely. We work with career seekers. Yes, you might come to us and say, "I need a job," and we're going to fill that gap, but it's just not a Band-Aid. I mean, we're really going to work with career seekers to get them a position that might not just be right for today, but might be right in the long term as well. And so sometimes that means, thinking outside the box, working with them to develop sharpen employability skills, maybe do some alternative training in areas that they have interest in, where they have a passion, but maybe don't have any experience. So yes, it's more than just a job for right now to get you from paycheck to paycheck. We understand and appreciate that need, but we also want to work with you so you have long-term sustainability.
Yeah, and the fact that you kind of groom everybody to go in the right direction. And the groom is probably the wrong word, but you kind of guide them so that this is more for you. And they'll be. My nephew I was talking to the other day, and he was a couple of jobs he was looking at. I know you need a job, but that's not for you. You need to find something that's for you.
Right.
And I think you did, by the way.
Oh, so I'm glad to hear that.
That's good, yeah.
I have not spoken with him.
I know. I was directing him to you. But
That's okay.
But I don't think I know he didn't call you, but he might have gone on the website.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to call me, just go on our website. Hey, before I turn this over to Jeromy, because I really want him to be able to talk about the wonderful opportunities at Chick-fil-A, I do have some information I'd like to unpack for our listeners and viewing public, if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
And this is some good news. Since last we appeared on the show, we have come out with the employment summary. This is for February. It came out on March 24th, but the region's unemployment rate dropped down to 5.9% from 6.6. There are about 1,200 unemployed. Actually, it's 11,802, but that's down 1,400 over the month. The number of people with jobs is up. That's 189,012. That's an increase of like 2,700 over the month, but more than 6,000 over the year. So that's the first time I've seen those numbers.
Yeah.
For Marion County, the unemployment rate's 5.7%. That's down from 6.4 in January. Our labor force has expanded by more than 500 to 134,000. Of those, we see the number of people with jobs, 128,000. That's an increase of 1,400 over the month. The number of those without jobs actually dropped by about 900 down to 7,700. So I call that sort of the economic trifecta. When you see expansion of the labor force that's fueled by an increase in jobs greater than a decrease, and then you have a decrease in unemployment, that's the direction we want to be moving. So very good news. Also, I come on month after month and I talk about manufacturing in Marion County.
Right.
It's number one in the state. It's number two. And it has been consistently for 2 years. It was averaged in the top third. But you didn't really hear much about the other industry sectors. Now we're starting to hear. In February, Marion County, Ocala MSA had the number one job growth rate in professional and business services, 11.1% increase. That's 1,000 jobs over the year. That's a sector that we have not seen movement on in a long time, and to lead the state for job growth rate,
Wow.
fantastic. And the second highest or fastest job growth rate in trade, transportation, and utilities, at almost 6% with 1,300 jobs over the year. In fact, 7 key industry sectors gained, 3 remained unchanged, none of them lost, and our overall non-farm job growth rate for Ocala MSA, 4%, outpaces the state average, which was 2.9%. So, we're starting to see the diversity that we need.
Right.
A great indicator of that was we just had 2 career fairs. We had 50 employers with the 2 combined, all with jobs to fill. That's great. We have a number of hiring events. I'm just going to touch on 2. I have 4, but you can go to our website, to our events calendar, and find out about the hiring events. We've got a couple tomorrow. We have a couple next week, and so I don't want to take any more time out of Jeremy's segment, but we do have hiring events as well. So please go to CareerSource, and check those out. So,
And just underscore 2 words. It's free. It's free. That's a conjected.
there's no charge. No charge.
It is free. 3 words. Yeah, it's free for everybody, for the employer and the employee. Yeah, I know. I can't brag about what you guys do enough, and it's amazing how many times the subject comes up about looking for work. Jeromy Williams is with Chick-fil-A.
Sir.
You can see it on the camera. You can see the bag. How long ago did you join the company?
All right, so I'm going to have some fun with you guys. You ready to play quick trivia?
Oh, you want to change the subject?
No.
Okay.
It's on this subject.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you, I had a different career before Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Right.
So I've been a Chick-fil-A owner now 12 years.
Different career.
Okay. So prior to Chick-fil-A, you get a choice of one of 3 things. I was an NFL player.
Okay.
I was an
What
Air
team?
Force pilot.
Okay.
Cool.
Or I was a teacher. So all 3 of you get to vote. So
Oh,
I was an
my
NFL
gosh.
player.
Oh,
Put your finger up.
I think you were an Air Force pilot.
You say Air Force
I
pilot?
would guess Air Force,
Air Force
yeah.
pilot?
Golly whiz, you're awfully tall, and I know that they have limits on height for that sort of thing. I was going to say all 3, but I'm going to say NFL.
NFL, okay. If you go on your computer and Google Seattle Seahawks receiver 1995 to 2005, when that pops up, you will not see me.
Oh,
All right? I was not an NFL receiver.
you got me.
I am a pilot, but I was not an Air Force pilot.
Okay.
I was actually a school teacher and a coach for 10 years.
oh, that's marvelous.
And so my career was going to be a special education teacher.
Uh-huh.
And I coached high school football, wrestling, and track, and felt like that would be my career path. And I love that you used the word career instead of job.
Yeah.
And had gone back, got a master's degree, and I truly saw a 30-year career in that field.
Well, all 3 of those things are careers. The football one is a short-lived career, but it is a career.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So No Child Left Behind came out, and it changed the landscape of special education as I knew it and what I was passionate about doing. So started looking at what other career could I go into in my early 30s. And I rolled the dice and said, why not Chick-fil-A? I'd never worked in a restaurant. I'd never worked in Chick-fil-A.
How long ago was that?
12 years ago.
So you're in your 40s?
Wow.
I'm 44.
You look young.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
So does Laura. Isn't it amazing? Robin, do you eat a lot of chicken, Laura?
We're old.
I do.
It's the hormones in the chicken. That's what it is.
There you go.
That's what it is.
I don't. I'm not.
I'm
a big
assuming
beef fan.
Jeremy does.
I eat a lot of chicken.
Oh, you do not?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it the chicken?
It is the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through a 3-year interview process with them, and then 12
3 years?
3 years.
What happened? Were you getting a lot of rejections?
No, there's kind of a matching process. You go through the process to see if you're Chick-fil-A material, basically. Then you're in an active pool.
See, I don't know this, but I suspect this because just looking at the guys and gals that work over here at this Chick-fil-A right here.
Yes, sir.
I said this to Robin. They know how to pick people. They're always polite, and I'm not trying to give you an ad here.
Sure.
But it's true. We go up there, they're always polite. What is the one thing they say to us always?
Oh, gosh, I can't remember the slogan now. What
Yeah.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
it.
My pleasure.
That's
Yes, sir.
Is that what you teach everybody to say? My pleasure.
Laura and I were just talking about this before the show. I go and speak to leadership groups all over Marion County, and talked to a group yesterday. And when I open it up for questions, the first thing that gentleman asked me was, "How do you get everybody to say my pleasure?" And I jokingly said, "We fire the ones that don't," which of course that's not the case. But the analogy I use is if I owned a tree climbing business, and candidate A was a horse and candidate B was a squirrel, who are you hiring? You're going to hire a squirrel because what do you have to do to teach them to climb a tree? Nothing. We look for people with servants' hearts. The words mean absolutely nothing if there's nothing genuine behind it.
Right.
And so that, to me,
That's right, yes.
it's not teaching somebody to say the words.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Do they truly mean it?
Can I bring another fast food restaurant into this just for a purpose
Bring it.
to make the point you're trying to make? We watched this movie the other day called The Founder.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's the Ray Kroc story.
Yes, sir.
And the two guys who were actually, have you seen this movie?
I haven't. I need to.
So the two guys who were actually named McDonald that he got, these were the guys who wanted to limit the number. They didn't want to have, they wanted them everywhere, but they saw it's impossible to keep their standards throughout the whole thing. Ray Kroc didn't seem to care as much as they did.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's true or not. It's just a movie. But the point is, it's that you guys do it. I mean, if I go to a Chick-fil-A here or Orlando, somehow from the corporate level, it does trickle down.
Absolutely does.
I don't know how you do that. That's hard.
Started with Truett. He set the standard in the culture, and he just wouldn't get away from it. And that's the standard.
What was his name again?
Truett, Kathy.
Kathy was his last name.
Yes, sir.
Truett Kathy. That's right.
Yep.
Boy, I bet he got picked on for that name a lot, huh? Mr. Kathy.
But you're very much in the community. I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
number one, you're closed on Sundays, so everybody could spend time with their family. And number two, you're really in the community and the causes. I mean, there was that one cause a few years ago where Chick-fil-A encouraged the cause, and then right here on Highway 200, we got an aerial view from an airplane
Right.
that all the traffic was backed up and everything
Yes,
into
ma'am.
this Chick-fil-A for hours, just because of the cause.
Yeah, I tell people a lot of times they'll ask me, why did you go into Chick-fil-A? And I'll be quite honest, I'm not particularly in love with the restaurant industry. It's a tough industry. I mean, there's a lot of turnover,
Right,
there's
right.
a lot of moving parts. It can be a grind. I'm in love with Chick-fil-A as a brand. I love their platform. I love what they stand for. I love the outreach that they have. And so for me as a teacher, I obviously didn't get into education for the money. And so what I realized early on is I could use Chick-fil-A and the platform that it has to still do what I love, which is teaching and coaching people, just on a different platform in a restaurant.
You're a mentor.
Listen, we're in 3 schools in Marion County with the Chick-fil-A Leader Academy. And so we're in there throughout the year, and it's a selected group of students. We're at Meadowbrook Academy, First Assembly, and Westport. And these kids, we activate them to do service projects and have servant's heart, servant leadership. I go home jazzed at the end of the day like that.
What was your position when you first started 12 years ago? What was your position?
Owner-operator.
Oh, you started right from the top of your franchise.
Brother, I went from 3 years of interviewing to a phone call to go to Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I got my start. A week later, after the offer, I was in Atlanta for training, and I went through a 5-week training class, and they handed me the keys to the restaurant and said, go get them.
Wow.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
sir.
Wow. Can anybody do that?
Yeah, the beauty about Chick-fil-A and the reason why it's such a sought-after franchise and or career is that it doesn't cost a lot of money at all on the front end to get in. Now, you pay franchise fees and there's profit sharing. You'll pay the piper throughout the process, but you don't need $3 million worth of liquid asset, or because that's the other question I get asked continuously is,
Yeah, right.
if you were a teacher, how could you afford to own a Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
When I came through 12 years ago, it was a $5,000 entry fee. That was it.
Wow.
Now it's $10,000.
Well, that's still pretty good.
That's phenomenal. You can't start a landscaping business for $10,000.
Wow.
Wow.
So, their view has always been it's not about how much money you have. It's, are you a good steward with what you have? What's your involvement in your community? Are you a leader in whatever career field you're in? And so right now it's probably 60-40, 50-50 on who becomes owner-operator. 50% within the brand, kind of grow up washing dishes and become an owner.
So if I was younger, I would be, and I was listening, I would be saying, how do I get in on this? And that's why you're teaming up with Laura.
Yes, sir.
To help recruit people, right?
We need to break. We understand that Chick-fil-A or any job like that is a stepping stone job for a lot of people. This isn't their end destination, and we get that. What we feel like our responsibility is, whomever you are, you carry around a toolbox throughout your life, and we need to give you some tools to put in that toolbox. And it doesn't matter what you do after Chick-fil-A. We want you to be the best husband, wife, parent, or whatever that next career is. We want you to look fondly on your time at Chick-fil-A. And if somebody asked you in your 70s and 80s, looking back on your life, what was the best place you ever worked? I hope they say Chick-fil-A. I hope what we invest in our people matters. And so that's, to us, is why we're here. Now, for others, we got to break the idea that it's a dead-end job, or it's just, it's a fast food job.
Right.
It's the last thing that we are, is a fast food job. We are quick service, and we serve fries and chicken sandwiches, and it's very fast-paced. Mm-hmm. The core of what we are and what we do and why we do.
It's nonstop.
It is.
There is more than one restaurant in that food court, but the Chick-fil-A line is always there. There's
Yes, sir.
always a line there. So you're doing something right.
Yes, sir.
So do we have any specific job openings we can talk about? Or
Well,
right
we're
here in
looking
Ocala?
across the board. We're always looking for great people.
Everything, okay.
Everything. But I will tell you specifically, we're always looking for that servant leader, somebody to look into leadership. I don't call them managers. I can't stand the word manager. I want
Because, you know why? Because it's man-ager. You don't want anybody who ages a man.
That is true.
Right, it's a man-ager. If you're a manager, it ages you.
And it does. I'm going to use that if you don't mind. Did you already coin that? Because if not, I'm using
I
that
just
today.
made it up just now.
All right. I'm using that later today.
I used to think it was women that were the man-agers, but maybe...
You're far away from Laura right now. That's why you could say that. No, we like the word director. We want to direct people in the right direction. We want
That's a better name, isn't it?
leader. I want them willfully following, not being forcefully made to do.
Well, and so are you looking for somebody who has a degree from a university, or is high school diploma good enough? Or
high school diploma is good enough for us. We want to know somebody finished the race somewhere. We do not require a college degree. My GM right now is a Westport graduate in her mid-20s and doesn't have a college degree. And she's a phenomenal human being, and she does a magnificent job at our restaurant. And so we're looking for leaders that want to grow, not necessarily get stuck in one spot. But if somebody has specific daytime kitchen, we need a great daytime kitchen leader. And I will tell you the trait right now that's, for me, in leadership, it's not the person that can bread chicken the fastest. I think that's what people in the past used to think was, if they were the best at a skill set, make them a leader. That's not it. For us, if you can't develop, teach, and coach, there is no leadership.
Which is why your background played in well with this.
Absolutely.
Which is your trivia question was a good idea. What is the Chick-fil-A building behind the mall over here? Not the restaurant. There's like an office back here.
That's our offsite office. So we grew to a point that we could no longer do interviews in the dining room. There were no seats.
Okay.
I started going over to Bob Evans and tipping those waitresses very well to tie up their tables and buy a candidate coffee. And I thought, okay, there's got to be a better way. So we expanded, and so we actually have an offsite office property now, and we do our interviews and orientations and trainings and leadership meetings there.
What kind of what do you call them, benefits, like health insurance? You offer that kind of thing?
The whole Health Affordable Care Act thing has just been a gigantic ball of yarn for us.
Okay.
It's been hard. We are still considered a small business, even though we're Chick-fil-A corporate.
Right,
It might as well
right.
say Jeremy's Chicken Shack on it. You know, it is a Chick-fil-A brand, but
Right.
we're an independently owned franchise.
Right.
We have health benefits that we can offer. We're just not in a position currently to pay toward those.
Is your restaurant the one on 200?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Right in front of Home Depot.
Okay.
And so what I'm proud of is we do have a traditional 401k that I put into, and that's on me, independent of Chick-fil-A. So we do have a 401k that we put in. A lot of intangible benefits. I think one of the things that we offer every Christmas, because I am a pilot and that's my passion is flying, I'll do a flying look at Christmas lights from the air sign up. And so every November, December, I do a sign-up sheet. We had about 75 employees sign up this year. And I'll do 3 rounds of flights per night.
Really?
And we'll go check out Christmas
Oh,
lights
my
in the
gosh.
villages from 1,000 feet. And then we'll have a little lesson in there. And we'll climb up to 8,000 feet and talk about perspective. And how people always talk about an 8,000-foot view.
Oh, wow.
This is what 8,000-foot view actually looks like.
Do you know the guys at Ocala Aviation?
I know some of them, yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
they come in here a lot. In fact, Dan is a pilot.
Yes, sir.
One of the owners here.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys want to take phone calls? I know it's toward the end here. Do you want to take a phone call,
Please
Laura?
go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air. Oh, you don't need your headphones.
Sorry.
Hold on. Don't say anything yet. Can you hear me, Jeromy?
I got you.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just heard something about the Affordable Care Act, and I just want to add this to that. Let's say if somebody wants to get a job, if you are like disabled and also like autism, and is that part of that the part of the Affordable Care Act?
Well, I know that at CareerSource, we do work with folks with disabilities or barriers to employment. So if you want to contact us at 1-800-434-5627 and speak to us, we can help you with all that good
Very
stuff.
good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for the call. So if somebody wanted to find out more about Chick-fil-A specifically, would they, in this case, do they go through CareerSource?
Well, we have it's set up on our website. If you go to today's date, you'll see the Chick-fil-A segment and information and positions and how to apply and all that good stuff. And we will also put this podcast of this interview will be up as well.
Yeah, and as I say this all the time, Laura, if you know out there, this is for the listeners, if you know somebody who needs a job, or if you need a job, or better than that, if you're not happy with your job and you really want to get into something that's a career. I mean, Jeremy's been doing this for 12 years. You had a career going.
I did, yes, sir.
And you kind of shifted careers, but everything, as you mentioned, like a toolbox that you gained from your previous experience is applicable to this.
So the team building aspect of it and building people up. Truett used to have a saying, how do you know if someone needs encouragement?
You are a leader. You've got that whole thing going.
The answer was if you're breathing. And it's the truth.
I think there's a book in you somewhere.
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. I love getting out and speaking. I love speaking about leadership and development. And I throw that out there, any listener, if anybody and I don't charge a dime. I just enjoy doing
But
it.
I think there's an idea, man, in there, and I think when you're flying, you have an idea. I'm thinking the whole idea for the Christmas lights must have come from you were up there and you saw a learning opportunity or teaching opportunity.
I saw perspective.
The teacher
and it was
in you.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the coolest things we've done lately is we actually bought a F-150 limousine from Truett's collection, and so we select the magnificent 8 employees every month, and we take them out for a big outing in the limousine and take them out to a great dinner and do some fun activities. So
Really.
when I hear us being kind of a throwaway job or it's just a stepping stone job, I will never view us as that.
Absolutely. No, I know just from listening to the when we go get food, and the line always goes quick. You go there, and it's like a 20-foot line of people, and it goes so quick. You guys have it. You have your act together. So we're out of time. Laura, real quickly, we'll just go to CareerSourceCLM.com.
That's the place, and click on our calendar of events, and you'll find on today's date more information.
Jeromy Williams, thank you for coming in. Good
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for the food and the dolls. That's awesome. Laura, thank you, and we'll see you on Friday.
See you on Friday.
We'll be right back.
Hours and counting for Senator Jeff Merkley as he continues protesting President Trump's Supreme Court nominee on this